Hello everybody, I'm Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films, and that was some home movies shot in Japan. I don't have a date on that, but beautiful stuff. Yeah, so I'm outside because it's nice outside, but because it's nice outside, it's also too sunny, so I can't actually see my screen. So that's why I have an umbrella set up. Let's learn about fitting faces. Enjoy.
Now another kind of problem, and it looks like a very interesting one. Mary Jones is dialing up for what appears to be a heavy date, and if it's okay, we'll butt in for a few minutes and see what's going on. Well, what's this? Checking up? Working from diagrams? Following instructions? Absolutely. Scientific art of beauty. The latest from Loveliness Laboratories. Research to the rescue, helping Mary emphasize all the nice things in her very nice face, showing her how to minimize certain features, how to accent others. Lady Science has done all right by you. You sure look swell. Uh-oh, now she's gone and ruined everything. But Beauty Science could have helped her here, too. Let's go to Beauty Headquarters. Yes, Hollywood. And meet famous Paramount makeup man Eddie Sens, who thinks that glasses like hairdos can flatter the features. That just like eyebrow and lip lines, the lines of one's glasses can bring out good points, make bad points inconspicuous. When an actress's role calls for specs, it's just part of the normal makeup problem to Eddie, and the way he's solved this problem can be of tremendous value to the 10 million American women outside of Hollywood who have to wear glasses, not to play in pictures, but because of eyesight. Eddie's drawings give you the lowdown based on two fundamental types of faces, the round face and the long face. First, the hair. High and close for the round face, but low and wide for the long face. Lipstick next. Applied as much up and down as possible on the round face, but the long face needs horizontal lines like this. Now for the eyeglasses. For the round face, an arched bridge and a dropped lower curve to help correct that circular appearance. The long face needs just the opposite, an almost flattened upper edge and lenses with wide, shallow curves. Now, if you don't believe that these added lines are effective, watch closely while we switch hairdos, lip shape, and eyeglasses from one face to another. As you see them now, they're okay, but wait. There, the shape of the face is the same, but how differently it looks with wrong makeup and glasses. Let's put everything back. There, much better, in fact, perfect. Now let's visit a factory where they make optical glass and see just how modern manufacturing technique makes possible lenses that not only aid eyesight, but appearance. Here's the beginning of a long, intricate procedure, carefully mixing the various ingredients from which fine, modern optical glass is produced. Ingredients like silica, barium, lead, lime are rotated in drums like these until the proper proportions are thoroughly blended. Furnaces in an optical glass factory have to be just the right heat, and they have to be kept at just the right heat as the various basic ingredients become molten. That's why temperature readings are taken frequently with delicate pyrometers. And after 24 hours of cooking and stirring, a miracle occurs. The contents of the special clay pots are now liquid glass, white hot, 2,800 degrees Fahrenheit. And now comes one of the most fascinating operations in the making of optical glass, pouring. Right before your eyes, as the roller passes over it, liquid becomes solid. A hot molten mass on one side becomes a hot solid sheet on the other. A sheet of exactly the right thickness for additional processing. See it change color, going from white hot to red hot, and that's the signal for it to be pushed into the annealing ovens, where it will be cooled gradually to room temperature at which it can be safely handled. Much later now and much cooler now. Also a few cracks, but they don't hurt. Yes, the sheet of glass is ready for cutting into squares, but not every square is used. As the cutter cuts, he's also looking for defects. He assorts and discards, as does everyone who works with the glass from now on. Actually, only about 25% of the original pouring finds its way into finished spectacles. Now reheated and softened, the squares are shaped into approximate lens forms. First, roughly in an oven, then more exactly shaped in a molding press. They're not squares any longer, and they're not called squares now, they're called blanks. A typical inspection, and there are as many as 45 different inspections throughout manufacturing. Then getting ready for grinding. This black liquid is pitch. It's poured into a heavy form, and when the surplus is removed, a coating of it remains. Into this, the preheated blanks are carefully placed. The pitch holds them firmly in position, whether on the bowl or on this drum, each symbolic of the countless forms used in the delicate grinding process. Hundreds of ingenious machines grinding millions of highly complicated basic lens prescriptions. A series of operations requiring the utmost accuracy and precision. Then more machines and polishing now until the blanks become as clear as the finest crystal. A bath in a special cleansing solution, and when they emerge from the suds, their official name has changed from blanks to lenses. Yes, they're almost ready for frames. But not quite. Centers of vision have to be carefully marked on each lens, and the proper axis must be determined. And more in the endless round of inspections. Experts checking on correct curvature, optical centers, and at the same time looking carefully for imperfections. Then the manufacturing process is over. The lens is ready for your specialist and his final grinding to your own prescription and face requirements. Basic shaping of the lens is done by various cutting devices. The edging is done on an abrasive wheel. Yes, the fundamental round lens can be fashioned into any one of 300 shapes to help the appearance as well as eyesight, which brings us back to Mary Jones. Still don't like your old specs, Mary? Neither do we. Take them off. They're not right for your face. But these are a set of 3, for just as a woman varies her wardrobe for different occasions, so can she find exciting variations in her glasses. These for formal wear. These for sports, same lens but tinted. And these for informal day wear, fitting right into the pretty picture that's Mary's face. Yes, science has entered every field of beauty today. No matter what the problem or what type of face we have, advice is available to us. So that in a highly competitive world where appearance counts for so much, each of us can always look his best.
Oh boy, that technology is so radically different now. It's fascinating to see. But I guess that the whole thing about the geometry of the face and the shapes of the lenses still holds true. Still holds true. You can change the technology, but you can't change the face. Yesterday we showed The Mouth of Babes, which was a wonderful film that I think was actually Mormon, because they talk about Heavenly Father. But it was little kids being asked questions about God and religion, and they're wonderful answers. My favorite was what's the difference between school and Sunday school, and the kids saying you use different crayons. Oh, so good, so good. Anyways, here's another film with featuring little kids talking. Enjoy.
but Lilette. Ah, Lilette, you are angry. Oui. But does this mean you are through with me? Ah, but Lilette. Enchanting woman, Lilette. But so unpredictable. All right. Who locked the door? I did nothing to offend Lilette, but she is provoked. Ah, women, complex women. Some men have a way with women, but it's seldom their own. Ah, the torment of love. Here I always come to recover my perspective. Only in nature is harmony. No one disturbs you here. Peaceful, calm. As for Lilette, well, that is finished. I am finished with the whole matter. I make a resolution. No more women. No more women. I'm finished with all women. I will have nothing more to do. Hello? What have we here? Is this a dream? Magnifique. What a ravishing woman. She's glancing this way. Her gown looks like it was molded to her body. What a dreamboat. She moves like enchanting music. What a cupcake. She is not only as pretty as a picture, but she has a nice frame too. I could see she's a combination of fire and ice. I think she finds me irresistible. Who needs Lilette? For these women I could go to the guillotine smiling. I will try a blasé approach. You know, this could be the beginning of a true spiritual experience.
Okay. It definitely creeped. I thought there was going to be more interplay between the two, and yeah, it's just a creepy French dude. So 1962 had different. They must have thought it was hilarious. 1962. All right, let's learn about telephones. Enjoy.
Singing wires. That's what I first called them. I found those wires carried a message for anyone who'd listen. And this is the story of me and our farm. My name's Bob. That's me and Jim, our hired hand. That's Pa. As long as I can remember, Pa had been working the farm by hand. And ever since I was big enough to carry a milk pail, we all had more work to do than there was daylight to do it in. Judy's farm down the road that really started me thinking. Everything seemed so orderly, so well run. Judy's father was what folks in our county called a successful farmer. Some of the old-timers used to say his cow barn was more up to date than most people's homes. I'll never forget the first time I saw them doing their milking by electricity. That opened my eyes to what electric power meant to a modern farm. At our place, even the water had to be pumped by hand. We didn't have an electric wire on the whole farm. And trying to raise chickens good enough to rate a 4-H club championship was one of the toughest jobs I ever tackled. You see, Judy was a 4-H club member too, and we'd had sort of a friendly rivalry every year as to which one of us would win a poultry prize. Of course, Judy always had a head start on me because their place had just about everything, even automatic lighting. Boy, those chickens worked for her night and day. But the thing that used to get me down was the way Ma had to work. Seemed like everything she did, she had to do the hard way. An old-fashioned chain pump might be kind of picturesque to city folks visiting a day or so in the country. But when you have to depend on it for everything, all year round, it's another story. I used to say it must take Ma 1,000 steps just to get breakfast ready. Judy and I both went in town to Central High. Judy's specializing in home economics, cooking and housekeeping. Miss Riley is her teacher, and I mean they really have everything in that class. Vocational agriculture was my favorite all through school. Mr. Evans spent a lot of time telling us about automatic electric water systems, about all the things a motor can do on a farm. And it was right here that my pal Joe and I decided to do something. I made a sort of deal with Mr. Roy, who runs the electric shop in town. He had a second-hand motor, and I bought it on time. Joe and I took my motor over to his house in town. He has sort of a workshop down cellar, and I couldn't wait to try it out. Mr. Roy's men were installing a brand new automatic electric water heater that same afternoon. Boy, what I wouldn't have given to see one of those going into our house. But that afternoon, I had my new motor. I felt sort of like Thomas Edison or Eli Whitney. The county fair that fall had everything. Judy and I went together and we had a lot of fun. we were both looking forward to, really, was the finals of the poultry competition. I always did pretty well in the 4-H show, but I'd never won a blue ribbon. Judy won, I thought it was swell. After all, I felt it was sort of keeping it in the family. Well, a fella can dream, can't he? I used to drive Judy home whenever I could promote the family jalopy. Just being with Judy was the best time of all. One day we ran across Judy's father installing an electric fence in his place. Even when he used to kid with us, I always admired the way he got things done. I got a lot of ideas from him, and I remembered them. But this was Judy's birthday. I had to hurry home and get my chores done if I was going to her party. Judy's father got through his work early that day, but then he always did. He had his own private office, complete with shower bath. You know, her mother's kitchen really isn't very big, but it's such an easy place to work in. And I was always thinking how I'd like for my mother to have a kitchen like hers. This, I used to say, would be the way I'd run my farm. This would be the way a farmer should live. It seemed like every time I saw how easy it was for Judy's mother to run her house, it made me realize more and more how far behind the times we were. We had a lot of fun together in that party. I don't think I'll ever forget it. I'll never forget this. had to be up early, so the party broke up a little after 10. That was late for me. Driving home, I began to hear those singing wires. I got to thinking and dreaming of all the things they could mean to life, and how hard life was without them. Ma and Pa faced the end of each day tired and discouraged. But by now, that second-hand motor was generating more than power. I was making plans. I could see that harnessed energy doing the work for Ma's tired back. See Pa getting a new lease on life instead of going to bed with the chickens. When he stopped to ask me what I was doing, that was my chance to speak up. I had all the facts and figures down in black and white. I showed him how the farm could be electrified gradually. When Pa began to take some interest, I showed him how we ought to begin with an automatic water pumping system for the house and farm. How the average farm uses several hundred gallons of water a day. Dad thought some of the things were pretty fancy, but that water system really caught his eye. I showed him how electric milking and milk cooling would help pay for other electrical appliances. And when he saw how he'd saved several $100s a year on increased farm production, that convinced him. But I think what really put the idea across was what the whole thing would mean to Mother. Hot running water in the house, an electric range, electric refrigeration, and electric laundry. And when he saw an actual saving of some $900 above the cost of the equipment, I knew I had him. I proved that we could expand the farm with less work, that electrification would give us more production and more profits. Anyway, it wasn't long before the power company was stringing wires to our farm. Try to do everything the first year, but it wasn't long before... Yes, life was easier. We were never happier. Judy took to coming over more often and helping Ma with supper. Folks wouldn't believe it was our same old kitchen. Once Ma and Pa sat down to supper without being dog-tired. Our old living room underwent a complete transformation. We could even see into those old dark corners. As for Judy and me, well, this was seventh heaven. For the first time in, I don't know when, Ma and Pa agreed to go in town with us to the movies. Only 7 o'clock. Yes, and all is very well. Electricity had done all this. Electricity doing the heavy work in the farm. That was the welcome message I heard in Singing Wires. So
I was getting bombed by pine cones out here, and then realized that the next film that I had scheduled was 30 minutes long, and so I can't do 30 minutes today. I got other stuff I got to do. So I don't know the name of this film. It's from the National Archives. We'll watch it and figure it out. This was I just had to find something that would fit this time period, time segment. Sometimes that's what happens. Is you get bombed with pine cones, and then you realize that you haven't scheduled appropriately. So let's figure out what this is together. Enjoy.
في عام 1955 أي قبل 21 عاما يعود الحبيب بورقيبة إلى تونس عودة الظافر. الحبيب بورقيبة رجل الساعة والمجاهد الأعظم وقائد الكفاح في سبيل الاستقلال. الاستقلال الذي تحقق في العام التالي وفي ذلك اليوم المشهود 20 من مارس 1956. نصب تاريخية وآثار رومانية قديمة تشهد مولد دولة حديثة. هنا شهد التاريخ مطلع الحضارة الإنسانية وأبهت الإمبراطوريات العظيمة في ذروتها واضطرابها في.
So that was in Tunisian. I'm sorry. That's not going to work. That is not going to work. Yeah, I'm sorry. Cutting Pierre and Candy short kind of threw off my timing here. Let's see what we can find. What time is it? Okay. So I have this hard drive with a bunch of stuff that I've been working with a stock footage researcher who's been getting a bunch of stuff from National Archives, and so there's some beautiful stuff in there that we've seen. And maybe we haven't seen this one. Let me. I strive to try to not show you stuff that you've seen before. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. All right, so let's try this. I know this is fascinating to watch me do this. Let's try this again. Tunisian, that's hilarious. Today is. I appreciate your patience with this. So this is Levittown, Miracle City. Enjoy.
Это город Левитаун в штате Пенсильвания. В своем роде это город-уникум. Когда он будет закончен, он будет насчитывать 60 тысяч жителей, 16 тысяч жилых домов, около дюжины школ. В нем будут церкви, торговые районы и коммунальные центры, которые, вероятно, потребовали бы 100 лет планировки, постройки и финансирования в уже существующих городах. Население этого образцового города состоит из людей самых различных профессий и социальных положений. Но все они имеют одно общее – сбывшуюся мечту. Подобно миллионам американцев, они мечтали о собственном доме, в дачном пригороде, о зеленой траве, свежем воздухе, о месте, где их дети могли бы играть в безопасности, о месте, где семья могла бы жить, расти увеличивать свое благосостояние и чувствовать, что она член города, населенного семьями, разделяющими ее вкусы и надежды. Мечта превратилась в план. Этот план включил в себя самые современные школы, по возможности в нескольких минутах ходьбы от данного района города, размещенные таким образом, чтобы детям не приходилось переходить улиц сквозного движения по пути из дома в школу. Сколько маленьких жизней было спасено одним росчерком Ресфедера на чертежной доске. Этот же план предвидит постройку не одного большого разбросанного города, а целой группы городков-районов. Американцы известны своей гражданской гордостью в отношении своих районов. В этом отношении они сохранили психологию жителей маленьких городов. Левиттаун принял во внимание эту их особенность и постарался удовлетворить ее. В среднем каждый район будет состоять из 300 домов и будет отделен от соседних районов широкими озелененными шоссейными дорогами. Здесь, в почти сельской тишине, человек может заниматься садоводством или просто сидеть в тени и беседовать со своими друзьями и соседями. Большое специальное внимание обращено на поддержание лужаек, кустов и деревьев в образцовом порядке. Это не только делает каждый дом, улицу, район и весь город красивыми, но и увеличивает ценность имуществ. Каждый дом, независимо от его цены, имеет лужайку и, по крайней мере, 50 зеленых саженцев кустов и деревьев. А что насчет детей? Для них в Левиттауне отведены дюжины игральных и спортивных площадок. Созданы прекрасные здоровые условия для подрастающего поколения, без всякой дополнительной платы со стороны родителей. Не надо также забывать купальных бассейнов, достаточных размеров для олимпийских состязаний, всегда открытых для жителей города и их гостей. Несколько таких роскошных водоспортивных центров уже сданы в эксплуатацию, другие еще на чертежных досках. Что может сравниться с купальным бассейном для молодежи? Кроме купания, жители города будут иметь возможность ловить рыбу и заниматься грибным спортом. Скоро здесь будет большое озеро, созданное человеческими руками. Тут же находятся открытые жаровни для тех, кто любит сами приготовлять пищу во время пикников. Не забыты также и серьезные культурные интересы. Когда постройка города будет закончена, его строители, Левит с сыновьями, передадут это большое здание в пользование жителей города. Дайте людям возможность, и они откроют в себе неожиданные таланты. Для спектаклей на обширной сцене этого здания или для других проявлений самодеятельности в двух больших залах. Строители города создают физические условия, все, что требуется от граждан, это талант и воображение. Бесплатная земля отводится для церквей. Некоторые из них уже имеют специальные автобусные линии по воскресеньям для своих прихожан. Многочисленные доктора и дантисты уже поселились в Левиттауне. Много специалистов по детским болезням, и неудивительно. Подсчитано, что через 3 года Левиттаун будет насчитывать свыше 20 тысяч детей. Эта статистика очень нравится продавцу мороженого. Для многих людей жизнь в этом удивительном городе – сбывшаяся мечта. Это сбывшаяся мечта не только для людей, которые решили поселиться здесь, но и для строителей этого города, чье имя он носит. Из всех крупнейших и наиболее известных домостроителей Америки семья Левит специализировалась на постройке полностью планированных населенных пунктов, состоящих из недорогих домов. Чтобы выполнить эту задачу, строители полностью проектируют каждый город до начала постройки, начиная с водоснабжения и кончая последним кустом. Таким образом, они строят удобные поселения, доступные семьям служащих с ограниченным доходом. Надо было найти подходящее место для нового города, и оно было найдено. Уезд Бакс в штате Пенсильвания – один из живописнейших и исторических интересных районов Атлантического побережья Америки. Это богатая, плодородная, холмистая местность между городами Филадельфии и Трентоном, а также вблизи крупных промышленных центров долины реки Делавара. Люди, живущие здесь, должны ездить на работу в Филадельфию или Трентон. И для этого надо было, чтобы Пенсильванская железная дорога построила бы специальную станцию в Левиттауне. Такая станция была построена, и сейчас свыше 20 специальных поездов уходят ежедневно в Филадельфию и Трентон. 40 минут, и вы в центре Филадельфии. Как раз достаточно времени, чтобы прочесть утренние газеты. Быстрое и удобное сообщение для работников Левиттауна, 60% которых работают в Филадельфии. Надо было, чтобы большие фирмы и профессиональные специалисты вложили миллионы долларов в огромный коммерческий центр Левиттауна. Они это сделали. Сейчас мы видим пищевые магазины, аптеки, банки, универмаги, салоны красоты, все, что надо иметь в центральном торговом районе. Обычная для Америки задача, где оставить автомобиль, разрешена здесь. Вокруг торгового центра приготовлено место для 6000 машин. И этот торговый район находится в 15 минутах езды от самого отдаленного дома в Левиттауне. Вы видели, как мечта была превращена в жизнь. Вы видели, как живут люди в Левиттауне, в уезде Бакс, штата Пенсильвания. В этих домах семьи со скромным доходом живут счастливой и здоровой жизнью. Сейчас, благодаря 5-дневной рабочей неделе, более короткому рабочему дню и более продолжительным вакациям, у среднего американца больше времени для отдыха и для проведения у себя дома. Поэтому эти дома спроектированы не только для удобной жизни, но и для отдыха. В них достаточно места, чтобы принимать гостей и воспитывать детей без нервной напряженности, вызываемой скучностью больших городов. Несколько тысяч домов все еще должны быть построены. И когда город Левиттаун будет полностью достроен, его ценность достигнет суммы в $250 миллиона. Почти столько же, сколько стоило достроить Панамский канал. Только строители с воображением могли взяться за такое дело. Семья Левитт считает, что она делает хорошее дело, давая людям с ограниченным заработком возможность жить в условиях дачной жизни в красивом современном городе. Возможность, которую они не могли бы получить на свои средства в каком-либо другом месте. Массовое производство и хорошая планировка сыграли большую роль в успехе этого предприятия. Но одна материальная планировка была недостаточна. На постройку каждого дома пошел новый строительный материал – психология. 25-летний опыт семьи Левитт в деле постройки жилых домов для широкого населения научил их тому, что средний гражданин хочет и должен иметь. Левиттаун – город, отвечающий нуждам современного американца, город, где интересы жителей были поставлены на первое место. Итак, вы видели Левиттаун в штате Пенсильвании. Вы видели город-чудо, но чудо, которое станет повседневным в завтрашней Америке.
It got so windy that like a bunch of debris was coming off the roof under the porch, and the umbrella was also swaying, and then my battery started dying on my laptop, and so then the first film was in Tunisian, and then the next film was in Russian. Yeah. So that was a propaganda film made to be shown to Soviets to talk about how great America was and the suburb that was Levittown. Of course, many of you pointed out in the comments that Levittown experienced a kind of crisis of consciousness, where and there's a film called Crisis in Levittown, made in 1957, and it's basically about how the neighbors are complaining about people of color moving in, and just the bad behavior associated with that. And so, yeah, not too soon after that film was made was there that problem. Okay, so anyways, thanks for joining us today. Today was a little bit of a mess, but yesterday was awesome, and there were also some good stuff this week. So I guess we were due for some weird problems, but I appreciate your patience. And so I did find a copy of The Joker, which is the safety film that is mentioned in another film. So we're going to watch that next week, among some other stuff. Hey, I appreciate your eyeballs and your comments and you tuning in. We would be showing these no matter what, but the fact that you guys tune in and comment and share and occasionally slip us some money, slip us a $5 via Super Thanks or via ko-fi.com/avgeeks or patreon.com/avgeeks. Those are great ways to support us. But even just watching, subscribing, hitting the thumbs up button, all those are great ways to say thank you, Skip, for spending your lunch with us, choking down your lunch and spilling crumbs onto your keyboard before you show us an hour's worth of films. Everybody have a great weekend. Goodbye, good riddance to January. Hopefully February will be nicer. Anyways, we'll see you on Monday. Take care. Love you guys.